A year ago, I came in wearing my championship hat, a championship belt, my nice Laker jacket.
I think a Lakers jersey.
My Laker jersey. This sucks because I wanted to wear it again.
I feel you. Mike, Gary, you're heartbroken, aren't you?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've been down this road before.
Yeah.
And so not watching, I have a hard time watching the games. I usually, if they win, I will watch them afterwards. If they lose, I will not. So, not terribly heartbroken. Also, I can make tons of excuses as, the games we played in the bubble last season, the injuries, whatnot. But, it'll be all right.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like, I'm kind of like, I don't want to come up with excuses or reasons. Because let's face it, the Suns were a better team.
Don't you dare say that.
They were.
Don't you say that.
Dude, were you not watching the game?
Don't you say that.
Okay, were they a better team or were we just terrible?
Anthony Davis. Okay, look it. Let me just put it this way. Game 4, Anthony Davis was healthy.
They're cooking us though, yo.
No. Game 4, Lakers were up by 11.
Okay, you're right.
Anthony Davis goes up for a layup. Lands awkwardly. I can't even blame him I can't even blame DeAndre Ayton because DeAndre Ayton did nothing malicious. He was just yeah.
But what was our defense though?
When Anthony Davis left.
So he was but
that's what I was saying in the first segment. I'm like, look, you got all these players who were fully functional, fully independent, didn't need mom and dad when they were gone, and now that mom and dad are back home, they slip back into the roles of
they got comfortable.
And so that was the thing with Markieff Morris. That was the thing with Montrezl Harrell. That was the thing with Marc Gasol. That was the thing with I wouldn't say Andre Drummond because I feel as if that was just him naturally. But
so I guess so whose fault is all this then? Is it Vogel?
I personally will point the blame to Vogel because again, you gotta just, especially if the Phoenix Suns were just playing mostly 8 players, 5 at most, but they're just doing 8-man rotations.
Yeah,
you gotta tire them out. Throw multiple men at them.
But I mean, the other thing too is that we couldn't grab a bucket. Everything was just clank.
That was another thing too. There's obviously I think there will be a dire need for 3-point shooting this offseason. Hopefully Rob Pelinka can address that.
I thought we had it. With KCP, with Matthews, with I don't even think McLemore didn't even play, right?
He played, but he actually had the highest 3-point percentage out of everyone. And if I remember correctly, he had 33% from 3-point land. Caruso, who was for the season was 40% from 3, he only shot 27, 29. So it was the lid was closed from downtown for the Lakers.
I'm gonna ask you both of you guys, do you think something internally happened? I kind of feel something with Dennis Schroeder.
Okay, it could be with Schroeder. Look at Mike is laughing. It could be with Schroeder. It could also be with Montrez. It could be one of the outcasts. When I say outcasts, I meant one of the players from one of the outsiders. That's what I meant from WCW. They came literally a part of this championship team, and then they probably shook things up. So Montrezl Harrell was throwing a lot of poor body language. So was Dennis Schroeder. It could be one of them.
I just feel internally it could have been something else too, because it's just everyone was off, and it looked like something was because the reason why I feel when you shoot, for basketball players, it's more. It's physical, but it's mostly mental too. So it's if you're not concentrating, if you're not there's got to be reasons why. Everybody was missing. That's what I'm saying. I'm what?
Mike, go ahead. He addressed it to both of us. What was your feelings on that?
Well, it just seems to me that for the last 3 months of the season, I've seen this with other teams too, is that we're once everything's healthy, everybody's healthy, we'll just turn the switch on.
Oh yeah.
Once LeBron's healthy, once AD's healthy, once everybody's on the same page, everybody's healthy, we're going to turn the switch on, we're going to go undefeated in the playoffs. And you could see that they realized, wait, no, actually we needed some more time to get on the same page here. And you saw that disconsolence that you were speaking to about throughout the series, where they realize there's a matter of self-realization of the Lakers themselves, Lakers players, that no, we don't have it together right now. And I think that became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, you always need chemistry. I've been saying that for a very long time. You need chemistry to gel and bond, and you can't just do what that's why I think a lot of people are unsure about the Clippers, because a lot of them happen to be hurt most of the time. Kawhi, injury, what's it called? The load management.
Yeah.
Paul George happened to have a right foot injury for most of the season, and it's just it's inconsistent.
As of right now, I don't see them. If they took it to 7 with the Mavs, I don't see them. They're gonna get tired, I think, if anything, with them. But
okay, so the thing that sucks is they're every other day. so they like can get tired against the Jazz because
Yeah.
it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And Lakers had a terrible schedule compared to like other teams. I noticed that too.
What do you mean?
Lakers were only had like a day of rest, where other teams had like 2 days.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that feeling where it's like, wait, why are the Lakers playing a lot sooner than the Mavericks and Clippers?
I'm telling
Like,
you,
yeah, yeah.
it's. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm not saying it like it's an inside job, but it might be.
I think. Well, the funny thing is with the Dallas Mavericks, they also have Porzingis, who was hurt, and that was like what the Dallas Mavericks fans were able to use for excuse. They're like, well, maybe if we had Porzingis, we would have taken you guys better, like last year in the playoffs. And so I think going into the scheduling, the NBA was like, we'll give both teams the benefit of the doubt because they're both injury prone, so we'll see what happens.
Just the fact that this season was rushed. I'm sure that's a huge factor into it as well. What?
Jared Dudley, my favorite person the entire year, the person that I said he was practically the porn cameraman of the Lakers.
The porn cameraman.
Because the two porn stars, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, just got done winning a championship, and then the media goes up to Jared Dudley and asks him, hey, when would you like the season to start? He was like, oh, as soon as possible. As soon as, like, he was like, let's get this started. We're ready to go. It's just like, dude, you're not the one doing the stunts. You're the one just sitting on the bench as a spectator.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
You know, with the flag a towel.
So what does the media do? They ask him, they're like, do you want to return? He goes like 1,000%. They need me. Look, they need you?
Well, I think he's a funny guy. So I think a lot of it was just sarcasm. Like,
Okay. If it was in that context, then okay.
yeah, I kind of don't think he was being serious when it came to that, because yeah, he's always been kind of like a goofball. So I did read that quote when he goes, they need me as much as I need them. Or no, he said, I need them as much as they need me, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's just Jared Dudley being Jared Dudley, but I don't think that's an actual like accurate.
Okay, so if it is a joke, because like there are some quotes that I read, like if I read a Charles Barkley quote, then I can tell firsthand if it's like serious or if it's a joke.
Yeah.
With Jared Dudley, there's something to him that's like a team player, but like older, like it's like the way it's a Hassan. Not, I was about to say Hassan Whiteside. What's Haslam?
Oh yeah,
Udonis Haslam.
Udonis,
It's like that role with the Miami Heat, where it's just like he's been around a long time. He mentors these young kids, these young bloods, and then the next thing you know, it's just like, oh, I deserve a contract to come back next season. You're like, no, you don't, dude. You're old. You're taking up a roster spot.
See, that's kind of always been my problem with him, because I'm like, I feel like we could have somebody else. That's why I kind of feel like, I mean, as far as like other players, who would you keep?
Well, that's a really good point. I want to just that about the Udonis Haslam comparison, because that I think also too the Spurs had that with Steven Jackson.
Yeah,
it's a guy at the end of the bench that's been in the league for a long time that will give you those hands if you're not about the team. And the Udonis Haslam had that aspect. Jared Dudley does not have that aspect.
No,
Also Steven Jackson was like paid to be the bodyguard of the Spurs because Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, those guys are not doing anything.
No, they're not going to do the dirty work.
Right.
And I'd rather have Steven Jackson out of all of them. Come on now. Even I would have Steven Jackson.
Sign him and Matt Barnes to a podcast contract with the Lakers.
With Meta off the bench, or actually starting. I would rather have Meta first out of all. Well, I don't know. Him and Steven, I don't know.
We'll actually open up next season with the boxing match between Matt Barnes and Kwame Brown.
Oh, jeez. Oh, dude, Kwame Brown. Drummond was reminding me of Kwame Brown a little bit. I mean, I think. Well, were you watching?
Yeah, no, of course. Next thing you know, like 10 years from now, we see Andre Drummond wearing a Trump's hat in a truck. You'd be like, you guys need to listen to Larry Elder more. You guys don't know anything. These black Americans, black Americans.
I definitely I feel like this roster needs to be shaken up. I just feel like Kuzma's done, to be honest. I'm over him. I'm done. I'm even done making fun of his hair. I don't care anymore.
Okay.
I want him out.
Before Mike wanted to interject his point.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Real quick. No. Before he wanted to interject your point. You're going down that road, so let's go down it.
Okay.
You said you want to keep the core players. Who from the Lakers right now would you want to keep? Like, who are the people that you think is the core group that Pelinka's
LeBron, AD, Caruso, and it's kind of hard to figure out the rest of that.
So Caruso's a free agent.
I know, but he said he wants to stay.
Yeah, but I didn't like the word that he used. He's used partnership, because the way he said in the partnership, he's like, I want this partnership to continue. I'm like, all right, that sounds...
It's very 2021 of you.
I was like, no, that sounds like your agent. Like,
hey, listen, it's Pride Month. He can say what he wants to, okay, Zach? If the Lakers are his partner, they're his partner.
See, if I saw Caruso with the rainbow flag around him, then I would have been like, okay, like I understand where he's coming from, but like that's obviously your agent getting in your ear, going like, partnership. This is a partnership. We need to.
Yo, we need to kind of finesse these guys a little bit more.
Exactly. So if you want to get top notch, you know your worth. You need I'll take care of them, and so like I'll handle this. Like if you want to return the Lakers, not, but like the agent got in his ear on that one.
I could see. Well, yeah. I mean, I get it, but I feel like he's still going to stay. I mean, he's pretty valuable still. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't as consistent, but like I said, I feel this whole team was just kind of just out of it. They were just so. That's why I say it's like, yeah, they were banged up, but I feel like there was something else, and hopefully they figure it out for before next season.
So I was talking to Noah Eagle, the voice of the Clippers radio broadcast.
Yeah.
He was asking me this question because he was like, there's a good chance Caruso's not returning. He was like, would you be okay signing TJ McConnell? Sorry, I said McCollum. McConnell of the Indiana Pacers. So it's practically Caruso with hair.
Yeah.
And older. But would you be fine with like an alternative or a substitute for like Caruso?
I mean, someone like him, I guess his player. I mean, I'd rather have that with Kuzma because like Kuzma, I feel like he can kind of replace. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's my answer. It's gonna be good. No, Kuzma. No, Caruso. I don't know. I feel like he's got some grit. Like he gets down. So like I feel like that's someone you want. Like he brings a little bit of energy, and like I feel like he's just scrappy. So like he's one of those guys that I would still want on my team.
Who? Caruso.
Caruso, yeah.
Yeah. So there's 8 players. Pending with Montrez, but there's 8 players on roll for next year. LeBron James,
Yep.
Anthony Davis, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, who is again player option, Kyle Kuzma, Marc Gasol, and Alfonso McKinney.
I tried McKinney too, huh?
So
did he even see any floor time? Oh, right.
Garbage time at the end of the game.
The dude was like, he'll shoot. I just wanted these guys to make baskets. That's it. That like the times it was so neck and neck. Sometimes I'm like, okay, we're gonna pull this out, and they're like, no, we don't. If they were making the shots, we probably had a chance.
So Alfonso McKinney was like playing the same minutes as Jared Dudley, essentially that series. And I think McKinney is actually like one extra position spot above Jared Dudley. So if like Jared Dudley's P12, like P11's McKinney.
So maybe this is Vogel's fault.
It probably is. He has a freaking army with him. I think he was going off of last year of like, I can use a roster. Like I could do the series matchup of like who to sit, who not. I don't need to play Dwight for the Houston Rockets series. And that's what he was trying to do this year.
I did miss them. I missed McGee and I missed Dwight.
Did you know that JaVale McGee has had a DNP next to his name for most of the playoffs with the Denver Nuggets?
What? Really?
Because he's playing behind Jokic, who's a center, yeah. And then they also have Paul Millsap, who can back him up. So JaVale McGee is not being used at all.
So we could use him next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of would have been a great replacement for Marc Gasol, looking at Marc Gasol's stats over these playoffs right now, where he was a -4, a -11, a +1, and then a -14 and a -3.
We're rooting for you, bro. We were rooting for you.
Okay, a lot of people that wanted to say Marc Gasol is better than Andre Drummond, just slap yourself. Just slap yourself in the face.
We should have had Anthony Irwin back on just to kind of hear that.
Because he was like, "What? Name one area that he's better." I'm like, "I don't know, rebounding." And he was like, "Well, it's like all schematic." I'm like, Marc Gasol. The only time I see Marc Gasol go for a rebound is when he misses his own three, and then like goes for the long rebound that happened on his own three.
Yeah, I mean, man, it was just I don't know. I'm just depressed still. I have to take off this Band-Aid and I got to talk about it again.
So we'll say this. Okay, we'll close off on this. Dennis Schroeder.
I hate that guy.
Dennis Schroeder, as we mentioned, changed his Instagram bio before the game.
I know, which was weird.
He changed his Instagram bio, dropped Los Angeles Lakers from his name. So it was just the number, right? Like 19. It was just a number. And then he put it back before the game.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, before the game. Because a lot of our people were like on their page going like, where did he say that? Where his Instagram bio is fine. So I was like, look, here's this original screenshot. I posted on our stories. Here was what he said after Game 6 when the Lakers were eliminated. I'm going to work my ass off to come back here and give everything because we owe the fans more. I'm going to work my ass off this summer, come back and be me. I want to be here and win a championship.
Well, we don't, Dennis. So thanks for your time and checks in the mail. Don't let the door hit you. Like that's dude. You do, if Magic Johnson, like with the for once, Magic Johnson said something that's like, oh yeah, but like he was right. Like you know how how he critiques games, but he was. I mean, I don't want Dennis Schroeder back.
I don't blame you.
I just he was garbage. I don't. He doesn't have the killer instinct. He doesn't have anything.
We'll close off on the segment with this quote. My favorite joke from Twitter about Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is the worst person to ever come out of Germany.